Hey, good morning, everybody. John here with FNP Wargamers, and this is our FNP morning show. Hopefully, you guys are all having a fantastic Monday morning, despite everything bad that's going on right now. I'm trying to find the positive in the bad, and all the negative stuff that's going on out there in the world, from politics to the economy, and of course the pandemic that seems to be raging through the world. And if everything that the WHO or the World Health Organization and other experts are saying is true, this is going to be probably the worst week that we're going to encounter. So please, as a heads up, please be absolutely careful in what you're doing. Wash your hands, of course. Wash your face. Don't be sitting there touching it after being out in public. Have some hand sanitizer. You don't need 30 liters of hand sanitizer. One little thing of hand sanitizer is fine. Cover your mouth. Even though and I understand at first, all the government and all the health officials said, hey, don't worry about covering your mouths. It's not important. Now they're saying it is important. It doesn't matter that they had to backtrack. They're backtracking. So cover your mouth. Don't bitch about it. Just cover your mouth, please. Wear something, a bandana, anything is going to be helpful. So just follow the rules and do your best to stay safe, and only go out if it is essential that you go out. If you absolutely have to work, then go to work and be careful, please, for the love of God, or whatever you pray to or don't pray to. Just please be careful, be safe. All right, enough of that. We've got a lot of stuff to cover today. I'm going to do a quick recap here in a little bit over the preview 2. And I also want to cover some other gaming news, and to continue, at least for here in Houston, I want to continue highlighting some of the every day I'd like to do a what do you call it? Highlight a store, local store, at least here for Houston, and then eventually I think Grandpa Strange was going to be getting me a list of some Dallas stores so I can cover them as well, which I would love to do. I'm only aware of a couple stores up there, like Texas Toy Soldier, and I think it's Area 52, and I believe there's Madness Comics. They also have a gaming store, so I'd like to cover those as well. So once I get that list from him, or I put together the list myself, which I should have done over the weekend, I apologize for that. I will start highlighting that tomorrow. Today we're going to cover hey, good morning, Epion. We're going to cover a couple local stores, and you know what? If you guys are not in Texas and you guys want me to highlight one of your stores, I'll definitely do it. Just put it in a description. I have no problem doing that. Also, if I have to turn my head away, I've been got a slight. I don't know if I made some chili a day or so ago, and of course I'm allergic to tomatoes. And but I mean, not like a deadly allergy, but I've been having like a tickle in the back of my throat, been coughing a lot the past couple days. So if I accidentally cough into the microphone, I apologize. At any rate, so we're going to cover that. We're going to cover a couple of the local stores. I want to be able to cover these local stores, especially during this very bad time for everybody, including the local businesses. The big box stores, they're going to be fine. When you make billions of dollars a year, you're going to be fine. But it's the guys that only make like a couple $100,000 a year. They're the ones that need our help. They're our local game stores that if we don't go to them, we don't support them, we don't have a place to play. And we also don't get their support whenever we have our local conventions, because you guys just so you're aware, so we can cut down cost on prices of tickets and stuff. Most of these local game stores, a lot that I'm going to be highlighting here for Houston and Dallas, is that a lot of those game conventions and stuff we go to, I would say probably about 75% of that prize support that we give out is donated to us from these local game stores. So if we don't support them, the backlash, I guess, not intentional backlash, but we'll feel it in the pocketbooks. So let's support them. All right. So we're going to cover, of course, Games Workshop stuff because that's what we're known for. And we're also going to cover Atomic Hobbies and a couple other things. So let's get to it. Oh, and I do have some news about product getting pulled from the shelves for Games Workshop, and some stuff being added to the shelves as part of their trade, their new trade line. That information got sent to me this morning. Yeah, this morning. And I can't show it to you guys. I'm just going to have to read it off because if I show you, there could be something on that document that shows, hey, this is a store from this state, and we can narrow it down to who revealed that information. So we're going to be careful. All right. I'm going to take a drink here because I can feel a cough coming. Oh, well, look at that. They were nice enough to update something for me before I got into it. So, awesome sauce. Let us bask in the glory that is Lionel Johnson. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but or Lionel Richie, whatever. Yep, a cough was definitely coming. All right, so the Lion finally is going to be available on March 28th. Oh no, whoops, that's when he was revealed. Damn it, I was getting a little excited. So if you did not see the preview 2 weeks ago, they're now re-highlighting Lionel Johnson with a couple different head poses and weapon poses. So, or not poses, but head swaps and weapon swaps. So it's really cool that they're doing that. I'm really fascinated by this, and it almost looks like that's two different paint jobs. I don't know what you guys are thinking. So look at this one, and then this one. Those are two different paint jobs for sure. So it has to be two different paint jobs. Just looking at the tabard, one is way brighter than the other, unless it's a different lighting. I don't know. I'm trying to look at their feet. I don't know. That's hard to tell. Oh well, doesn't matter. So you get the lion sword. Should you choose the wolf blade instead? What? So he's got the lion sword and then the wolf's blade. Interesting. That's very interesting. I didn't know he had something called the Wolf's Blade, but we're going to get his profile. If you are familiar with 7th edition, this is going to be interesting. Weapon skill 8. Dude, strength 7, toughness 6 wounds. That's kind of standard for these guys. 7 initiatives, pretty nice. Very nice, actually. 5 attacks, cool. 2-up save. We're probably going to have a 2-up, 4-up. I don't know what this is, but color, maybe this is him just being all poopy pants and pissed off. When reduced to 4 wounds or less, he gains 1 attack, increased to +2 attacks when reduced to 2 wounds or less. So he's going to go up to 7 attacks, 8 attacks on the charge. That's pretty nice. Absolute focus. In an assault phase, he's never required to roll more than a 4+ to hit any enemy models, regardless of their weapon skill. Wow. Any special rules or modifiers. So no matter what, he's always hitting on a 4-up. That's badass. That's really badass. Because there's a couple people out there that have a higher weapon skill than him, or there's other modifiers and stuff. That's awesome. His sword, the lion sword. Here we go. So strength 7, AP 1. For those of you uninitiated with 7th edition, AP 1 would be pretty much the equivalent of -5 to your AP. -5 or -4. -5, I think. Lance, if I remember correctly, Lance special rule When he charges, he gets a bonus. I can't remember on Lance. Master Crafted, I think he gets a reroll. And two-handed, I don't remember what two-handed does. That's still pretty awesome. Oh, and it's Fleshbane. Duh. Against, so you get to reroll to hit and reroll to wound with this sucker. That's awesome. The Wolf's Blade, I was hoping they'd tell us about it, but Wolf's Blade gives you, you're going to be Strength 10, AP 2, which would be AP minus 4, Shred, and Fearsome Ruin. I don't remember what Shred does. I think that adds maybe reroll wound, maybe? I don't remember. Or they have to man, I don't remember what Shred does. It's been so long. Fearsome Ruin. Any unit with which suffers one or more casualties from this weapon and have to make a morale check during the assault phase must roll an additional d6 for that check and keep the 2 highest dice to determine the result. Oh, that's brutal. That's awesome. Okay. He has a 2-up, 4-up. Okay, cool. He has an archaic plasma pistol that's got salvo. So that's pretty... He's going to be pretty boss. It's going to be interesting to see having him and Conrad Kurz, the Primarch of the Night Lords, reenact one of their famous battles that was in a short story. So that's going to be interesting to see who's going to win that fight. So that's an interesting profile that they have for him. He's not too shabby. It's going to be interesting to see what his other rules are that he grants those around him, or his army rules are. All right, so continuing on, this is going to be just a quick recap because we covered this on Saturday morning, somewhat to our disappointment, but also to our liking. I mean, it's kind of a mixed emotions there. So I'm not going to delve or dwell too much on these. We're just going to cover it real quick. So Lumineth Realm Lords, not the Lumineth Night Lords, I keep calling them. They're getting a box set very similar to the Sisters of Battle box set that came out last November. In that box set is going to be, well, I was hoping there would be a picture of it, but there's not. All right, so we're going to get 5 cavalry, 10 infantry. Well, there's 9 there, plus their commander, so it's really 10 infantry. We're going to get the Spirit of Eltharion, which is probably the most stunning model I think that they've got set up for the Lumineth Realm Lords. The one I'm super excited about. Hey, good morning, Nam. I'm really happy about this model. So, like I said, we're not going to cover this too much. I'm just giving you guys a highlight. It's going to come with some cardboard cutouts. That looks like it's a cardboard measuring stick. Really awesome looking dice. I don't know how they'll roll, but if they're the smaller 12 millimeter dice, they're probably not going to roll too well. And then, of course, they're going to have War Scroll cards, but they're going to be on the smaller, was it A5 or whatever standard card size. Blood Bowl. We predicted Blood Bowl was going to get something, and sure enough, they did. And they got a Tree Man. The only cool thing about this is this little guy right here. I mean, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see this, as I said on Saturday, that we're going to see all sorts of things come out of this kit surrounding this squirrel. I think we're going to get memes. We're going to get some great conversions. We're going to be getting some crazy stuff going on with this squirrel. I can almost 100% guarantee it. Those of you just joining, I'm just going to be doing a brief recap before we carry on. Moving on, Horus Heresy. We got the Praetors for the Word Bearers. Compared to Corferon and Erebus, these are, kind of on the downside, or they're not as good as those two were. But compared to a lot of the Blood Angels and some of the Dark Angel stuff that has come out recently with the mediocre to less than stellar paint jobs, not only do these models have great paint jobs, but the sculpts on these are absolutely awesome. Now they're not at the level of saying they're not at the level of say Corferon and Erebus level, because those two are named characters. They're very famous in the Horus Heresy and after. They let's see here. Oh, look at all these guys. Hey guys, how you all doing? So anyways, these models are really cool. I'm happy about them. I'm happy about the sculpts. I'm happy about the paint jobs. So we're going to go ahead and continue on. And this is a quick recap, so just bear with me. Quest of the Ring Bearer. You know how I feel about the Lord of the Rings stuff. I'm just not a big fan of it, but it's cool that they're keeping this on. So Angels of Death, if you guys have not watched this preview trailer, definitely watch it. The Angels of Death, it looks really good. This is the same guy. If you go onto YouTube, or maybe you watched it years ago, they had the what's it called? Hell's Reach. The Hell's Reach YouTube show, and it was basically kind of black and white. I forget what the animation style is called, but the guy did it. It was all fan made, and so they brought him over to do Angels of Death with a bigger budget and a bigger staff. So that's really cool that they did that. Like I said, we're just kind of blazing through these real quick here. I would definitely recommend you watch the trailer. You're probably going to enjoy it. And then they surprised us with another one of their movies or TV shows or whatever it is that's going to be coming out. So the graphics are really, really awesome. So I'm really excited about that. No, this is not live on Facebook as well. It's just live on Twitch. Then we put it over onto YouTube. We'll load it up onto YouTube so you can jump over there. The other thing we talked about was the next battle tome. That was kind of a surprise. The Sons of Behemoth, I think. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but everything that the video looked like and the way that the designers were talking about on Saturday was that this definitely got the feel. If you've watched the anime Attack on Titan, or if you've read the manga, this definitely is getting the impression of an Attack on Titan feel to it. Not necessarily those Titans being mindless creatures, but definitely those large monster types. So I'm kind of excited that this is going to be happening. Book D, they are not anime. They are miniatures for a tabletop war game for either Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, or whatnot. This is the other one I was really excited about years and years and years and years ago. I want to say late 90s, early 2000s, they came out with Demon Fuge. It followed the Heretic Saint on for basically the sister battle. Gained her psychic powers, fought against a corrupt convent or whatever they're called, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened with the Inquisition, Calux's assassins, and of course Pariah. And last year we predicted that this model was coming out. We were hoping it was going to be in the Sisters of Battle Codex. Yes, it was a comic book. So we were hoping that it was going to be in the Codex, but understandably it wasn't. Now we know why, because you will field these two as a pair. So cool that they're doing that, and I'm very happy that we were right about this coming out. A lot of people were like, "No, that's not going to happen. They're not going to do it." And then the Codex came out, and they're like, "See, we told you it wasn't going to happen." But we maintained the faith here, and we were well rewarded for it. And if you saw my reaction on Saturday, I was super stoked. I almost passed out because I was so excited. This is one of my favorite characters. That comic was one of my favorites, graphic novels. Really excited about that. They also brought up, see if I can find it here. Oh, they don't have it here. They also talked about Pariah. Oh, duh. Right there. Psychic Awakening Pariah. And they talked about not just the Pariah. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So this Harlequin, I forget his name. I think they put it in here. Kaiganol. Man, I can never pronounce their names. he is known as the pariah. She is in a sense, I mean, not a psychic pariah, but she's a pariah of her order and the Imperium. And I think they were talking about the Necrons being pariah. So that's really interesting. Now, one of the other things that kind of threw us for a loop is they said that in the White Dwarf, the new Psychic Awakening rules for Death Watch and Harlequins are going to be in the White Dwarf instead of a Psychic Awakening book. No, I'm sorry, silly rabbit. So anyways, the Psychic Awakening book, well, them not being in a Psychic Awakening book was interesting because they said every book will at least have 2 factions in it, but they never said that every book is going to contain that they wouldn't put anything in a White Dwarf. So I don't know if this is a time thing or maybe they've had to have planned this because they start building up the stock on this stuff about 6 to 9 months out. So they must have already known that this was going to happen. So I don't think it was a last minute thing. So it's cool that at least Death Watch and Harlequins are going to be, instead of paying $40 for that book, we're going to be able to get it for basically $10. That's not too bad. And then that was it. They're doing some virtual gift vouchers. If you spend $50 or £50, ooh, you get £5 for free on your next purchase. It's crap. So that's that. I'm not going to dwell on too much on that. Some other news. Read the Burden of Brotherhood. It's an okay story. It's not very enlightening on the background of the upcoming books, but it's definitely an interesting. Gives you an interesting read. All right. So continuing on with the news. With all the stuff going on with the pandemic, with the what do you call it? With the COVID-19, a lot of companies have had to shut down production and shipping and everything else. And Atomic Mass Games finally came out and said, "Hey guys," and they've got it up on their website. So if you've been following Atomic Mass Games and their game Marvel Crisis Protocol, you will know that they've decided to shelter. They have that shelter-in-place order in their own state there. And they've had to postpone all the releases for the month of April. We kind of predicted that was going to happen, but they finally came out and said it. It was a little bit after Asmodee had to shut their doors, and then FFG, the Fantasy Flight Games, had to do it. So it's still, it's still good news that they're not going under or anything like that. They're just putting everything on pause. So. As soon as we get more news about this, I'll go ahead and pass it on. We know that this month was supposed to be, at the end of March, beginning of April. We were supposed to be seeing Gamora, Nebula, and I believe it was Ronan the Accuser and Drax. And there was one other. It might have been the set, the army, or not the army set, but the terrain set, that futuristic sci-fi set. So who knows what's going to be happening right now. Same thing goes on with Games Workshop. We're trying to figure out, are they just going to push everything back a month and we're just now going to be behind a month and 2 weeks maybe, or a month and a half, or probably about a month and a half, or are they going to slam it, all this new releases in the month of May if they reopen in May, if you will. So we still got, what is today, the 6th? So we got another 24 days. So 24 days to see what else is going to be coming out, or before they lift their shutdown, and that shutdown might continue. So we really don't know what's going to happen. But I'm really interested to find out if they're going to keep everything open. And May, and then slam us with all these releases, or are they going to turn around and just push everything back about a month and a half on their release schedule? Which, either way, the most important thing at the end of the day is that we have, as they say here, please stay safe. And we're going to get through this. I mean, I know it's not like the Spanish flu back in like 1918. It's not that deadly, but this is still a bad thing. So please, guys, stay safe. So we're going to continue on. as I said, I wanted to highlight some local stores that were doing well. And I wanted to, or not doing well, but that are kind of closed down because of the COVID-19. They are not necessarily an essential business, but they still have to, they still got to pay rent, electricity, pay their employees, everything like that. So we want to keep our local stores open, because if we can keep them open, we have our places to play, like I talked about at the beginning of the show. So the next one I want to highlight last Friday was Atomic Hobby Shop in Cypress, Texas. This one is in Humboldt, Texas. It's Eden Games and Hobbies, or just Eden Games. And it's probably the premier store in Houston, Texas area, or the metropolitan area, for board games and RPGs. Now, there are a lot of stores out there that have got RPGs and board games, but I would say this store has the largest selection of both. And they've now gone to have an online store, which I'll show you just here in a minute. I want to be able to show they have a thing here, ship for free. If you put that code in, ship free on orders over $100, free shipping. That's not too bad. And when you buy some board games, that happens real quick. Same thing with RPGs. Buy a couple, like 1 or 2 RPG book, or 2 or 3 RPG books. Sorry, you're already looking at about $100 order. So that's not too surprising. And they also have curbside pickup from 12 to 8. So, hey, you know what? That's really nice. Phone orders and edengames.com. So give them a call. We're going to pop over, check out their website. I've not been to this website since it's been up and running, so we're going to check it out together. Shop board games. Oh, yeah. They got different filters. Oh, perfect. Yeah, all the... that's nice that they tell us what's sold out. This is really nice of them. They did a really good job here. A really nice, clean, 123 pages, and that's with 1, 2, 3. So it's 12. Oh, right there, it tells me 1,400 items available under board games. For over 1,400, almost 1,500 board games available there. That's actually really awesome. If there is a note, just tell them that John at FNP Wargamers sent you over to them, or when you call them to buy a game or whatever, or you pop your head in eventually, let them know John at FNP Wargamers sent you over. I don't get anything from it. I just wanted to let them know that, hey, we're looking out for them. They're important to us. They're important to our gaming community. So give them a checkout or a look-see. Remember, ship free if you're going to, as the code, if you're going to be ordering over $100, if you would like some free shipping. So with that said, I think that pretty much covers everything. Wow, man, this is not even going to be an hour-long show. It has been that dead. I wanted to cover the stuff being pulled. Like I said, I cannot show you this information. I got to keep it off screen. But let me answer a question here. I see somebody asking a question. Cuddle Bunny, how good is Gerard's? Gerard's, that's the other one I keep trying to remember. Gerard's is a nice store. I don't know what's going on, but you know what? Now that you mentioned that, Cuddle Bunny, they are the store I'm going to cover tomorrow. Gerard's, from my understanding, is a really good store. They have a nice gaming community there. I don't know about their stock levels because it's a little bit far south for me, so I don't head down that way, especially now. So I'm gonna have to do some do this via the internet here, do some remote viewing, if you will. So I will cover that tomorrow. Cuddle Bunny, thank you for bringing up that because I forgot all. I knew there was one more store here. But I could not remember the name of it. So thank you. All right. I'll make sure you guys can't see this. Okay. Can't see it on the screen. Fantastic. So, things that are getting removed, GW wise, Games Workshop wise. It looks like, now when I say removed, that means they're not going to be part of the normal trade range. So, this doesn't mean that they're being discontinued. They're just being pulled from the shelf to make room for newer product. And you usually see this when they have a new planogram at a Warhammer or a Games Workshop store. So of particular note, A lot of this is not a surprise. So most of these are the omnibus or the novels, some white dwarfs, older white dwarfs, and Aeronautica Imperialis, Wings of Vengeance. It's not that the game is not doing well. They just have a new starter box coming, a new 2-player box coming with the Tau and the Imperial Guard. So it's not that the game's going away or it's doing bad. Just like they do with all the Warhammer Underworlds, they're just swapping the boxes for the new set. So that's all that's happening. Let's see here. Novels. Blood Angels Tactical Squad. Now, this is the older style Marines, not the new Primaris Marines. Those are getting pulled. Not a big surprise. The Fireslayers, Magmic, Battleforge, Baleful Realm Gates, Dominion of Sigmar, the Penumbral, Stormvault, Combat Gauge, Warcry card, the Wormspat Premium Sleeves, Dice Set, Rothgorn's Sleeves and Dice, and the Night Vault Forbidden Chambers Board Pack. Jeez, that's a mouthful. Those things are all getting pulled. They're not going away, except for probably those under the Wormspat and the Rothgorn's stuff. Those just are going to be, they only made those in limited quantities. So you're just not going to see them anymore. Now, your local stores, they're probably going to go ahead and keep them up because they're not being, I'll double check the message. I don't think that they're having to clip out the UPC code and send it back to get credit. I think this is merely them just for the main trade range stores, is that for what you need to maintain your trade account, you have to have these items and not these items. And then what they're adding, Prophecy of the Wolf is getting added to the trade range. Not a big surprise. That'll be like that for probably about a year. The Adeptus Sororitas Battle Sanctum, the Immolator, Ragnar Blackmane, Saga of the Beast, the audio novel, the Sisters of Battle, Rhino, Seraphim Squad, Repentia Squad, Diabolus, Canonus, Imagefire, Psychic Awakening, Saga of the Beast, Sagas of the Space Wolf. Oh, it's a book. A couple other novels and Galaxy in Flames. So it doesn't necessarily, like I said, this doesn't necessarily mean that any of that stuff is going away. The stuff I just now mentioned was stuff that's getting added, but none of that stuff is necessarily being discontinued. They're just getting pulled from the regular shelves. They can still be ordered. They can still be purchased. You're just not going to see them at your Warhammer or Games Workshop stores, and they won't be part of the standard lineup on trade accounts. So if you are wanting these, and Eden Games and Hobbies or Atomic Hobby Shop, Gerard's, Montag's, Asgard Games, Fat Ogre Games and Comics. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, Goldmine. Hit them up before all this stuff disappears. Okay? So, sorry, not a lot of news and secrets and leaks and stuff. It is, as I told you guys the other day, it's going to be nice and quiet. Unfortunately, because with everything going on, all of our sources are not at work. They can't peek over people's shoulders. They can't read emails. They can't go into the back where the artists are or anything like that and get the sneak peeks that pass on to us. So it's gonna be quiet over the next couple of weeks, but we're gonna do our best to at least keep you somewhat entertained. Like today, the chat was rather odd. If you have a chance to look at the chat, it was odd in the sense that it was not the normal type of chat we have in the morning. So yes, Nam, they are definitely trolls. But you know what? We got their subscription, so I'm all right with that. Oh man, that was entertaining. But so as soon as I get more information, of course I'm going to pass it on to you guys, and I'm going to very much try to get a painting show today. Probably about 2:00. I've gotten my projects pretty much done. I'm still working on some Chaos Marines, and I'm going to be working on the Wakandans. Not sure if I'm saying that, Wakandans for Marvel Crisis Protocol. I've got it right up there. I'm going to be painting them today. I've been kind of playing around with the skin tone because I'm not. It's easier for me to paint, a white skin, Caucasian or white person skin tone, even Asian or maybe Latino, because it's just different shades and everything. But the black skin is a little bit difficult because I want to get it right without just going, hey, slap on brown, because there's different. I've seen other people's paint guides, using purples, blues, and browns. So I'm gonna try a couple of those out today. I only have 3 models to try it out on, so it's gonna be interesting to see how I pull this off. But I'm gonna think, I'm just gonna go ahead and say we're gonna do that at 1:30 p.m. today, just in case I end up falling asleep on the couch or whatever. So yeah, 1:30 p.m. today, we're gonna paint some skin for the Wakandans and probably something else. I've got Noise Marines to do, Thousand Suns to do. So yeah, we got a lot to paint today. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you jumping in there, Nam, and putting up with that quite ridiculous bit of trolling. Very interesting. But it was I'll tell you what, it was very difficult not to look over there and just start laughing. But it was definitely entertaining. I got entertained this morning. I hope you guys got entertained. Anyways, I'm going to get going. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're on YouTube, jump over there, or make sure you hit like and subscribe there. Leave a comment. Jump back over here, leave a like, subscribe, whichever. Hit us up on both of them. It'll really help out the channel. And tell your friends and family, get them to like it and subscribe too. It really helps us grow, and we can get up to a point where we can start passing out free prizes and all that kind of stuff like that. All right, I'm going to get going. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you about 1:30 p.m. Central Time. See you later.